I just got 373 million plus damage in a Traitless tournament, so I'm going to show you how I did it. These are the units I'm using, the loadout I'm using, and I have shown the stats here as well. By the way, at 35,000 subscribers, I'm going to make a giveaway. So I'm going to give away the premium pass and maybe something more. You do have to have full auto skip on always, and to get more than 370 million, you need good stats. It's a requirement. In the video, I am showing the whole run unedited, but I am also commentating over it, so you can mute it if you just want to see the strategy, what I do, but I'm also explaining what I'm doing throughout the video, so make sure to listen. And for those who are saying that this is not working, it's gonna be RNG. It's gonna be good stats as well. You have to have good stats. To get first place on a bracket, 370 million plus, you have to have good stats and good RNG. You have to do a lot of runs to get it. So if you don't have good stats, then I have a video on 365 million, which you don't really need good stats on. It's a different strategy, but you should still get 365 million quite easily. And I also have a video on explaining how to get more damage in general in tournaments, so you can watch that. But yeah, this is gonna be hard to do either way. Also, using Vegeta and Killua seems to be the best early game strategy, Traitless, because it's so cheap for how good and reliable it is. Try to get good stats on Vegeta, and I don't think you can replace him with anyone else if you want to get 370 million. Here you have to have good Killua stun, so Vegeta can kill all the enemies fast, so it can be ready for the next round, and have good stats on Vegeta. If you don't get that, then either you have to get less damage or you just reset the run if you have the stats. Because if you have the stats, but you don't get the Killua stun RNG, just reset now and do it again. And then you have to place a Sanjibu and Toji on strongest outside of Vegeta's range. And yes, while this does look very similar to other strategies, it's not really copied because it just happened to be that this is the best strategy. You have to have Vegeta's in the beginning, Killua's in the beginning, Toji and Sanjibu on strong here because it's in the beginning. You just have to have it. This is the best strategy. And if the round doesn't skip that fast, then reset, because you want the Killuas to stun in a way so they group up so you can kill all the enemies as fast as I did. And as fast as possible, just place 2 Igris down on last. You need this because Igris has more damage than Sanjibu and can also hit more enemies because it's the line AoE on last. So that's why you place those 2. And if you have godly stats on like everything, you probably can kill these enemies much faster and skip the wave like 2-3 seconds faster than me. Otherwise, it's really hard to do it. Then I stagger Toji so they don't hit on the same time, so they break shields. And then I continue to break shields faster by placing a Killua and Vegeta, and then I'm readying up to kill the last enemy, so I'm not placing anything with my money right now. I'm waiting for the last enemy, and then I place Sanjin Woo just to kill it a bit faster. And the next few waves, just continue adding DPS and shield breaks. Vegeta counts as shield break here as well. And at the end of the rounds, try to use or place a unit so you kill them faster. The faster you kill them, the faster this wave skip will come, the more damage you will get in the end. Selling and rebuying units is completely fine. That's what makes me get so much damage. And this time, it didn't really matter that I didn't have money to play Sanjin Woo because every single other unit I had still insta-killed the last enemy. As you can see, I prioritize defense much more than farming in the beginning because you just need to make these waves go as fast as possible. You can get money later. And that's why Speedwagon works in some strategies as well. I also try to sell a unit and place it down once I have all units down, because that makes it so I reset the cooldown for attacks and just kill the last enemy faster. You can see me doing this here, and it actually makes it go faster because I kill the enemy 1 or 2 seconds faster, and it just definitely works. You lose money, but you get more damage. At wave 7, 8, you can probably start farming a bit. It's because you almost have all units down. Make sure to have enough money to place all Vegetas down. If you can, stagger them so they don't attack the same enemy, so they don't break the same shield. So they break shields just separately. And have enough money to place or sell and rebuy units so you can actually kill the last enemy. I do this here. It's not the best. I should have sold it and rebought it a bit later, but it's still fine. And when wave 9 comes, do not focus on defense at all. Try to get a max farm, because wave 9 to infinite waves, it's always going to be the same amount of time per wave. It's always going to be 30 seconds per wave and 5 second skip, so 35 seconds in between waves. No matter how fast you kill enemies, it's always going to be 35 seconds. It doesn't matter how fast. From wave 1 to 9, it's different. You can skip those waves, but 9 to infinite, you can't skip those way faster. So you just focus on farming, you can kill the boss later. So now when we're reaching wave 10, Just focus on farming. The boss will come. You're not gonna kill it in time, but just focus on farming. I reached wave 10 here at 15:32 on the clock left. That is my record by far, and that's how I knew this would be a good run, and why I said, oh my god here. If you get 1530, that's still probably 370 million plus. If you get 1529, maybe I didn't get 370 million plus with 1529. And if you get like 1525, it's not that good. It's like 364 million. You need to be at wave 10 at about like 1530 to get 370 million plus. If you did not get to wave 10 at 1530, then just reset, do it again. And that's how you get 370 million. It's still good to get like 1525, you're still getting 360 million and over. And the reason why you get so much more damage with just 5 seconds is because you have 5 seconds more to just kill enemies. We are at the same wave 5 seconds faster, so you just have 5 seconds more to deal damage. And at the end, the enemies have so much HP that you just get so much damage. That's why you want to skip as many waves as possible in the beginning, and then you can focus on defense. As you can see now, I'm not even killing the boss, I'm just farming. I focused everything in the beginning, and then I'm focusing everything on farming, and now that I have a max farm, now, or actually I don't have it now, but soon when I have a max farm, I can finally start killing the boss and survive. Now after this, it's just survive, max your Igrises, mainly because those are the main damage thing, but you want to also get a Sunny Woo to max as fast as possible, because the Sunny Woo Arise ability will increase the damage of your Igris, so that's your focus right now. You max farms, like I did here, and then you want to have Igris basically not where the placement is right now, like in the beginning. You sell and buy them in the middle, so the full AoE hits a good curve. And here I will sell my Igris and buy it again in a place where when it's max, I can have a full AoE on a good circle. I also start killing the boss with Vegetas, because that is the most cost efficient thing, and you don't want to sell your Sunny Woos really, because they have gotten some kills, gotten more damage. So here I just start maxing Igris, and that's completely the only thing you want to do now. The waves don't go faster, you just need to survive and get as much damage as possible in the last 5 seconds. So yeah, this was a really good run, 1532. Try to reset if you don't get 1530 if you're going for 370 million. Anyway, if you are going for 370 million, then I have a bit of info to help you get there. Here are 3 pictures. The 320 million picture is basically if you let the auto skip go completely by its own. You don't kill the enemies faster. That's why you see so many players getting 320 million. It's because they don't kill the early waves faster. They just let it go and let auto skip do its work. So then every wave will take 30 seconds, and then wave skip 5 seconds, so it's 35 seconds. The first wave is like 36 seconds because it's, I'm not sure. Every wave after that will also be 35 seconds. If you, in theory, kill it as fast as possible, which is impossible, but it could be done in traits, maybe, then enemies spawn for an amount of seconds, and it auto-skips an amount of seconds. So the auto-skip is also always after 35 seconds after a wave, but for some rounds, or most of the rounds, the enemies spawn for only 13 seconds and from wave 2 to 3. So basically on wave 2, they only spawn for 13 seconds. So the last enemy after 13 seconds have spawned. And then 14 seconds, then 19 seconds, then 21 seconds. So that's basically what it is. And that's why if you kill all enemies in a wave, it's gonna auto-skip after 13 seconds instead of 36 seconds. It's actually 13 plus 5 because I didn't count in auto-skip here, so it's actually 30 seconds on the 320 million thing, so 8 to 9 doesn't really skip anyway. And then you can see my 373 million run here. I have the same time on the first 2 waves because you can't skip them Traitless, but the third wave, already 19 seconds. It took me 19 seconds to auto-skip the wave, or to skip the wave. Instead of 35 seconds, it took me 19 seconds. And it could be done in 14 seconds, but those 5 seconds I cannot get because it's Traitless. I can't kill them fast enough. And wave 4, I skipped to 5 at 25 seconds instead of 35 seconds. It's still slower than the 19 seconds possible, but it's as good as I could do. And that's where I needed godly stats to kill the enemies. If you remember, there were some enemies left for like 3 seconds where I said, if you have godly stats, you can probably skip the wave 2-3 seconds faster than me. And then it continues like that. I kill the wave much faster than if I just let auto skip go. Even though it's not as good as the theoretical one, I still kill it much faster. So that's where I save time. But from 9 to 10, no matter what, it's always 35 seconds. It's always going to be 35 seconds. You can't make that faster in any way. It's impossible. So that's basically what you do. You do 1 to 9, those waves you do as fast as possible, and then after that you just survive. And by the way, these times are when the skip initiates. So when the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown starts, this is the time. So at 1924, that's when the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown will start from 1 to 2. So basically I am at wave 2 at 1919 because it's 5 seconds later. But the skip initiates at 24. So that's how it works. And if you want to get 370 million, you definitely need to have the skip at like 1610 from 8 to 9 at least. So if you don't have wave 3 to 4 at like 1829 at the very minimum, or 1828, just reset if you want to get 370 million. And if from 4 to 5, if you don't have like 1803 or 1804 or 1805, then just reset if you want to go for 370 million. If you want to get close to 370 million as much damage as possible, try to get as close as times as my 373 million run. But yeah, if you want to get good runs at 7 to 8, make sure to have the skip at like 1645, and 8 to 9, make sure to have the skip at like 1612. Now, it is possible to get more than 373 million. The wave 3, 4, 5, and 8 for me are pretty slow. 8 is hard to skip, but 3, 4, and 5, 3 is also hard to skip, but 4 and 5 you can make go faster. The fourth round was when I needed godly stats, so if you have godly stats, you have a better chance than me. You need to kill the enemies. And wave 5, I bought my units a bit too early. I didn't buy it when the last enemy was out, so I killed it slower. So you can make this go faster. You can definitely get like 376, maybe 7 million. So these are the times you want to aim for if you want to go for 370 million. And if you want to go for 370 million, just reset runs if you don't get these times, because the time is what matters when it comes to damage potential. So if you get like 8 to 9 skip at 1605, then you're no way getting 370 million. It's not possible. But if you have less money, but you get the 8 to 9 skip at 1612, like I have right now, then you have the possibility to get 370 million damage. So having the possibility to is better than not having the possibility to, obviously. So just aim to do these runs as fast as possible, and these are the times I have. So basically, how to get more damage is you do the first waves as fast as possible. You don't care about farming, you farm after it, and in the beginning you just do it as fast as possible. But it's still important to do stuff in the end. After you've done that, at like wave 30, you're still gonna need as much damage as possible. So first of all, you don't die from the bosses or the enemies, and second of all, you get as much damage as possible in the last few frames. And one thing I did was I got a better time. I got 2 seconds faster, or maybe 1 second faster than someone who got 370 million, but I only got 368 million. So it's not completely over once you've done this. You still, like I said just a few minutes ago, or like a minute ago, you have the potential to get over 370 million if you get the time I got. Now you still gotta get that damage and capitalize from it. So what you need to do is, first of all, you need to get max Igris. Igris is your damage dealer. It's the one that's gonna deal the most damage, and then it's Sun Jin Woo. You want to have an Igris maxed, and then a Sun Jin Woo max, and then max your other Igris. The reason why you want to max a Sun Jin Woo before the other Igris is because you want to get the Arise and get the 25% more damage on Igris as fast as possible. And then max Igris, and then the last thing you need to do, that's how you get as much damage as possible, you need to time your Arise ability. You want the Arise ability in the end so you have more damage, and also so the clones or the shadows from the Arise ability also kills in the end. That's how you get the most amount of damage in the late seconds, like the last 3, 4, 5 seconds. You still have to get those last damage in those last seconds. So now the only thing you need to do is max Igris, max Sun Wu, and time Sun Wu ability Arise perfectly. If you have the Sun Wu in the middle, then you should use it like 1 minute left. If you have it in the front, which I am gonna use Arise in the front because my cooldown works like that, I used it a bit earlier, then it's probably like 30-35 seconds you can use it. But rather use the ability too early than too late, because if you use it too late, your shadows won't even die and they won't even deal damage. If you use it too early, they will die too fast, but you're still gonna get the extra damage from the Arise ability, so it's fine. I would advise you to do this as fast as possible, because there's only like 1.5 days left of the tournament as the release of this video. It might even be less. And this, personally, I've spent like 15 hours on runs throughout the whole tournament trying to get to this stage. Now, this run took like 3 hours since I wake up and until I completed it. It took like 3 hours. It takes a long time. You need the good RNG. Like the Killua RNG on stuns in the beginning is what makes it or breaks it. And then you also have to have good information on when you should place units so you can time it and kill the enemies as fast as possible. I could go for 375 million. I know it's possible. I know I can do it. But I don't think I will, because my brackets, I'm already first by a landslide. Like, I'm so first. So I'm not gonna do it, but I advise you to do it, because it's, if you spend enough time on it, like 5 hours with this strategy, with good stats, you can definitely get 375 million. I know you can. It's so possible. And even if you don't get 375 million, 370 million plus, you can definitely do that. And 370 million plus, and most brackets will at least get you top 3, but might also get you top 1. And in my bracket, 373 million is top 1. So I would advise you to do this, because even though the rewards aren't great, you do get an exclusive shiny unit. And I'm pretty sure exclusive units are the only units that will be tradable in the future. So an exclusive shiny unit for a one-time thing, for a tournament, it's so good. Other than that, try to do traits as well. Even though you're not a Monarch, you can do this exact strat with traits, but it's just going to be better. Or you can do those with Monarch or Ethereal. Personally, I used a different strategy, completely different strategy than this Traitless run for traits, because you just use the units you have Monarch on. And if you don't have Monarch, use Igris and Shadow and Sun Wu, and just use these units and use this strategy, but with traits, and you're probably going to get like 380 million pretty easily. I personally got like 388 million, so even if you don't have Monarch units, you should be able to get like 380 million. It's fine. And yeah, I would definitely do the runs now, because if you don't, you may be missing out on an exclusive unit. But you can also do Paragon and Infinite, because those give you an exclusive unit as well. And they're probably less competitive right now, because everyone is focused on tournaments. But if you have the right stats, if you're using this strategy, and if you have the time, then grind tournaments now. And then you can do Paragons later, because tournaments end in 1 day or something. Well, Infinite and Paragon will probably not end in 1 day, you have time later. This is also the reason why you replace Igris and place the Sun Wu I placed there in the middle, because then you can kill the wave 30 boss. If it leaks, then probably you have 2 bad stats, or you placed them wrong, or something went wrong. But it doesn't really matter, you can just place Vegetas to kill the leaked boss, and you can still kill them. It's gonna waste money, but in the end, so it doesn't really matter. But you do want to kill them without, so you can just spend all the money you have on the defense you have currently. But that's why sometimes you don't kill the boss. For me, that was a problem as well. Just place them in the middle, everything in the middle, the ones that you have maxed, and that should be fine. Because everything in the middle should also reach the start, so it's just more damage potential. It's just more range that is being utilized. Other than that, the last minute, do not use Arise. Turn off your auto Arise at like 5 minutes left, because you don't want to use Arise right now. You want to save it until the end, so you can use Arise, like I said, and get as much damage as possible. So that's a mistake. I did this run, that's why I also maxed another Sun Wu to just use Arise on that one instead. because it's closer. If it's closer, it's gonna be better. But if I wouldn't do that and I used Arise on the original Sunny Woo, my shadows would not reach the enemies in time. About now you would have used Arise otherwise, but since I didn't, then use it at like 30-25 seconds if you have it in the front. And that makes it so the shadows should reach and Igris and everyone should have damage buff until the end, and it should work. If you did everything like I said and you understand how to get more damage, if you have the stats and you're at the last 30 seconds, just pray that you get as much damage as possible. The wave 36 skip will come, and yeah, you just need to get as much damage as possible. The shadows will kill some enemies. Yeah, just try to kill as many enemies as possible before the time is over. It's 10 seconds left. You just need to hope for the best now. You can upgrade as much as possible. You can't sell the Takarada farm, but get as much damage as possible. And here I got 373 million damage. So yeah, tournaments are almost over. It's only 1 day and 9 hours left. The trait leaderboard for me is cooked. I don't know how I'm first with 388 million. It's so lucky. But the traits disabled one, yeah, I'm first by a landslide. It's like, I'm so happy that I'm first. I would probably be first in a good bracket as well, but I might get first on this one as well, which I shouldn't be. I really shouldn't be first with 388 million. But yeah, make sure to do that. Play tournament now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.